the Eotech XPS 3.0 or the Vortex AMG UH-1. Which one to choose? What's going on, guys? I hope all y'all are doing great. So, you already clicked on the video and you know that I've already done a review on the Vortex AMG UH-1, the Huey. That is correct, but I thought it would be cool because I know quite a bit of people have asked and I want to know some stuff myself on a comparison. And say if you're in the market for a holographic sight, which one should you get? The Eotech XPS 3.0 or the Vortex AMG UH-1? So about the pros, the cons, and which one is right for you. So just a quick rundown on the looks of both holographic sights. There are some differences and some basically things that are the same. So let's discuss the pros and cons with each. And if you're in the market for a holographic sight and don't really know what to look for, hopefully this video helps you out. So what I'm going to discuss first is the price. These are a little bit different in price. So the Eotech is going to be more expensive. The FD is a lot more than the black, but by like $20, but that's just one of my build. And this is going to be cheaper, obviously, than the Eotech. So prices, anywhere from the 3.0s for the Eotechs, which I probably should have did the 2.0, the 2.0 compared to this, just because night vision, we'll talk about that. So this you can find on some places for the upper 500s, which I did. I found this on Big Daddy Unlimited for high 5s, low 6s. Amazon, the places are going to be around the mid 600s to close to 700. So this is kind of expensive. Just say around 550 to 650 is your average price on one of these 3.0. The Vortex. When I first bought this, I paid way too much for it. But I pay that much for it now. I paid $4.99 plus tax. Would not pay that. It is a great sight. I've had this thing for years ever since it came out, and I absolutely love the AMG UH-1. This you can get around the mid 3s to upper 300s right now, and that is a great deal. So those of you out there question, what is your budget? I'm always big with budget and what can I afford. So if you have the money to get this one, that's up to you. If you're not going to run night vision, so I'm going to be running nods here eventually, but I will not probably need the night vision mode on this because I'll have a PEC 15 and I won't be running this unless the PEC goes out for some reason. So not running night vision. So they do have the 2.0s and the regular 512s on it. Eotech has a lot, and Eotech has been out a little bit, actually a lot longer than say the Vortex AMG. Vortex has been out for quite some time, but this was their entry model into the reticle, the holographic reticle. So prices, do the math on that. What can you afford? Do you want something, and this is what all of you are going to say, well, Nick, because the price difference, I guess the Eotech is better because it's more expensive. I've always thought the more money something is, and I try not to think like that. I guess I'm just a spoiled little ass and a little shit, but as to who I am, I usually thought the more money, the better it is. That is not necessarily true. Some of you guys here in the gun community think the more expensive it is better than, say, my $1,000 AR, or my 15, your Virtus or whatever you're running, your Daniel Defense is better than my built AR I did. That's not necessarily the case, guys. So don't always think price is better, because for the money, this damn thing is good. So yes, you can. Some of you guys might say, well, this is higher quality than this. The housing and everything else is roughly the same. I beat the hell out of this one. I've not beat this one up too bad yet, but this and say quality is almost the same. So then go away from price in your budget. Next question that some people like to say about, say, the AMG compared to the Eotech is the size. Guys, the size and the weight is really not that different. After looking at those specs, and I did write them down, yes, if you see me look down, it's just to make sure I get my shit straight. So going to the specs on the size and weight, to clear this up, because people just jump the gun and think this is a big ass mailbox. Guys, this is not really much in a size, and I will tell you what the specs are. So moving on the Eotech, it is 3.8 inches long, it is 2.1 inches wide, and it is 2.5 inches tall. So, okay, take that and I'll put them over here for you, and I'll put the Vortex beside it. The Vortex, the size on this is 3.5 inches long, it is 2.3 inches in width, and it is exactly 2 inches in height. So 3.8 length, 3.5. You do have all this extra room. This does look longer. Yes, that does look a lot longer than the Eotech. But guys, once you start doing all of your specs and measurements, it's really not, because I always thought this was way bigger than my XPS. And the width, this is going to be just a tad bit wider, 2.1 to 2.3, and that is not really. The housing right here on the sides of the Eotech actually looks bigger than the Vortex, but you got to do all this extra room on the sides of it. And then the height, you see it's just a tad bit larger. It's just a tad bit taller. So guys, if you think about it, the Eotech is bigger than the Vortex. I said, if you're iffy on sizing on your rifles and don't want a holographic, don't get a holographic. Go with like an Aimpoint T2 or a Holosun. Go with, say, an RMR or something small. I know some people like to have their stuff compact. Yes, these are a little bit bigger and bulkier and stuff. On the builds I have these on, that is not a problem. On some other builds, I will have red dots or do have red dots. So this is not really an issue in size. Talk about the size, let's talk about the weight on these. Now here, it's not much, but the weight on the XPS 3.0 is 9 ounces. And on the Vortex AMG is 11.8. So this is just a tad bit heavier. It's almost 4 ounces heavier, which is not terribly bad. So you just gotta see, for 3 ounces heavier. So it's not that bad, guys, in size or weight, just what works for you. Next thing that a lot of people look at, myself included, was one thing I did not like about the Eotech when I was doing my new build. Do I want this or an Aimpoint, a T2? Battery life. If you're someone that turns your shit off, it should not be that big of a deal. With the Eotech, you're looking around 600 hours. And the Huey, you're looking at 1,500 hours. So that is a big difference, guys. A very big difference on that. Show you kind of this buttons here. You got your night vision button, your plus and minus your illuminator, and you got to zero in your optic. That I'd say is a little bit nicer. I think that's just a little bit nicer in my opinion, the buttons, and then how you zeroed in. Your battery cap here sticks out, so I have the width a little bit bigger. That battery cap, I don't really like that on the AMG. I think the buttons are a little bit nicer. You have your buttons up here. I like mine, to be honest, on the side. It's just easier for me to adjust instead of directly in front. It's just easier to reach to the side than it is, say, trying to push up front and move and everything else. So obviously, for the money, and then the battery, that's how I kind of look at it. The size and the weight is roughly the same, a little bit heavier. And some people think this looks ugly. I think this looks sexy. I don't know. I used to think the Aimpoint Acro looked hideous. That was the mailbox to me. Looking at it in person, I don't know, Acro looks pretty good. So this, I know a buddy of mine named Jason hates the damn Huey. Man, I think that is clean looking. Obviously, an Eotech is gorgeous, always. Eotech's never failed. Besides a 512 that looked ugly as hell, in my opinion, that I owned. Looks, prices, battery life, weight, the measurements, all that, guys, and quality. What is going to be a better housing? what is going to be a better sight picture. Like some people say the sight picture is a lot of difference. Say how high it is. I mean, you can just see the glass. That's another thing to talk about, the quality of the glass. I've had some people tell me the quality on the Vortex glass was not as good as the Eotech. Now, I beat the hell out of this, but I've not had an issue with any of the glass. The field of view is another thing. What field of view is going to be better? I feel like you got a more broader, wider field of view with the Eotech than you do this. But I will say, for the money, this thing is not, it's not that much off from this, and it is very clear. Vortex has always had clear glass. They have been one of the best at it. So that's the whole glass thing, that's not really a big deal or something to look into for you guys in the market. So guys, if you guys are looking to buy one of these and you do go with one, please let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear it. Hopefully I could clear up a little bit of stuff. It was not really an in-depth review, but instead of you having to pull up pages and stuff, it's just basically my honest thoughts on it, since I've had both and I like both. I can't really say yay is better than this one. I can't really say that. I do love both of those almost equally the same. I've had the Vortex for a couple more years more than the Eotech 3. So I've had more time with it, but I'll have had a 512 before, way before the Eotech or the Vortex. So guys, I appreciate you watching this video and take the time out of your day. If you could like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed to me already, and hit that bell notification down below to be notified when I upload. If you guys want to help this channel just a little bit more, but guys, you do not have to. I'll leave a link to my Patreon down below. It'll help me bring some more content out for you guys. And if you want to reach out to me or see some more cool stuff, I'll leave a link to my Instagram account down below. I'm a little bit quicker getting back to some people. I know sometimes it can take a couple days or a week to get back to some of you guys on YouTube. But guys, thanks again. And as always, have a good one.